This is my final evening news broadcast. It has been an incredible
Major breaking news story. Norah, you were there and I was watching.
Did Norah O'Donnell's recent diagnosis shake her career? Reports suggest the CBS star broke down after receiving tragic health news, leaving fans in disbelief. What was so alarming about this alleged medical discovery? Stay with us as we uncover the emotional journey that changed everything for O'Donnell. Norah O'Donnell never imagined that a routine checkup would turn her world upside down. It was just before Thanksgiving when she decided to squeeze in an overdue appointment with her dermatologist. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary until it was. While browsing through holiday sales, an urgent email popped up from her doctor, leaving her stunned. What could be so urgent? The email wasn't just a casual follow-up. Dr. Elizabeth Hale, her dermatologist, wanted to speak to her immediately. Norah's mind raced. She had always been mindful of her health.
Read, and I feel like I do more reading during the winter because I snuggle up a lot.
Yeah, right?
Now, questions flooded her thoughts. Had she missed something? What could it be? When the doctor finally delivered the news, it hit hard. Melanoma. The word alone was enough to send chills down her spine. But there was more. The doctor assured her it was caught early, but immediate surgery was necessary. Norah, who was always the calm, composed face of the news, found herself grappling with fear. How could this happen to her? What did this mean for her future? As she processed the news, one thing became clear. This wasn't going to be easy, and her life was about to change in ways she never expected. Sharing the news with her family was even harder. Norah O'Donnell, known for her strength and resilience, now faced the daunting task of telling her loved ones. Her husband, Jeff Tracy, was deeply concerned. But the most heart-wrenching moment came from her 9-year-old son. His innocent voice asked a question no mother wants to hear. "Mom, are you going to die?" That moment lingered in Norah's mind. She quickly reassured him, but inside, she felt the weight of uncertainty.
Said something like, "You've been in office for 2.5 weeks," and he said it feels a lot longer than that.
How do you explain something so complex to a child? The diagnosis wasn't just a personal battle. It became a family ordeal. Her children, too young to understand the full gravity, sensed something was wrong. Every glance, every hug, every whispered conversation now felt more significant. Despite the reassurance from doctors, Norah couldn't help but wonder, what if they hadn't caught it early? What if she had waited longer? The thought haunted her. Her family's worry became her driving force. She knew she had to fight, not just for herself, but for them. This diagnosis wasn't just hers to bear. It was a shared burden that would test their strengths as a family in the months to come.
Those devices exist out there that I think more parents would love to know about it because it can be really helpful.
The decision to undergo surgery wasn't difficult, but the process itself was daunting. Norah recalled the exact moment her doctor explained the procedure: a significant incision on her upper back, 3 layers of stitches, and a recovery period that would challenge her in unexpected ways. The news felt surreal. When the day of the surgery arrived, Norah tried to stay composed, but the fear lingered. As she lay on the operating table, her mind drifted to her family, her career, and the uncertainty of what lay ahead. The procedure, though successful, left a scar, both physical and emotional. Post-surgery, the pain wasn't just physical. For someone as active as Norah, being told she couldn't work out for 6 weeks felt like a sentence. Exercise had always been her escape, her way to de-stress. Now, she found herself trapped in her own thoughts. The absence of her daily routine took a toll on her mental health. Each day felt longer than the last. The scar on her back served as a constant reminder of what she had been through, but it also became a symbol of her resilience.
Heard of in the state right now. Why? Because you can civilly sue anyone involved.
She knew this battle wasn't over, and the road to recovery was just beginning. As Norah reflected on her past, memories flooded back. Sunny days in San Antonio, hours spent running track, cheering at games, and yes, visits to tanning salons. Back then, it all seemed harmless. But now, those memories felt different. Were these choices to blame for her diagnosis? Norah wasn't alone in her thoughts. Many people overlook the dangers of UV exposure, especially in their youth. She realized that what once seemed like small choices had long-term consequences. Her past decisions now felt like lessons she wished she had learned sooner, but dwelling on the past wasn't an option. Instead, Norah focused on what she could do now. She vowed to protect her skin, opting for high SPF sunscreens and avoiding tanning beds.
Economic volatility and painful reminders for all of us that we have a long way to go.
But more than that, she wanted to warn others. Her experience became a wake-up call, not just for her, but for everyone who thought, "It won't happen to me." Norah's story wasn't just about what happened, it was about what could happen to anyone. And as she looked back on her journey, one question remained: how many others were unknowingly walking the same path she once did? Norah O'Donnell's diagnosis wasn't just a personal challenge, it became a mission. She knew the importance of early detection firsthand and wanted to make sure others did too. With her platform, she began speaking out, sharing her story with millions. But was anyone really listening? Her message was clear: don't wait. Regular skin checks weren't a luxury, they were a necessity. She emphasized that catching melanoma early could mean the difference between life and death, and yet so many people put it off. Why? Norah wanted to change that mindset.
We enjoy spending that time together because I think most relationships, certainly when you have kids, they can be
Over difficult. Her efforts didn't go unnoticed. Viewers, inspired by her story, started scheduling their own checkups. Some even discovered early-stage skin cancers because of her warnings. But Norah knew her work wasn't done. The thought that someone might delay their checkup haunted her. She felt a responsibility to keep pushing, to keep reminding people that prevention was key. But amidst her advocacy, one question lingered: could she ever truly leave this experience behind, or would it always be a part of her story? As Norah continued her mission, she couldn't help but wonder, how many lives could she help save before it was too late? Cancer-free didn't mean carefree. For Norah O'Donnell, life after the diagnosis came with its own set of challenges. Every 4 months, she found herself back in the dermatologist's office, holding her breath as they examined every inch of her skin.
The CIA has the biggest intelligence budget in the country, but in fact, it's
Each visit brought anxiety. What if they found something new? Her scar, though healed, served as a constant reminder. She often caught her reflection and traced the faint line on her back, remembering the journey she had endured. But it wasn't just about her. Her children watched closely, learning the importance of sunscreen and regular checkups. Every bottle of sunscreen by the front door was a testament to the lessons she had learned the hard way. Norah's life had changed forever. The fear of recurrence was always there, lingering in the back of her mind. But so was the determination to stay vigilant. She knew she couldn't control everything, but she could control how she approached her health moving forward. As she adjusted to this new normal, one thought persisted. How many others were living with the same fear, unaware of the risks they were facing every day? Balancing a demanding career in journalism with her health wasn't easy. Norah O'Donnell's days were filled with breaking news, tight deadlines, and endless responsibilities. But now there was an added layer: her health. Could she manage both without compromising either?
look at Norah O'Donnell on the CBS Evening News and think,
She admitted that the diagnosis had changed her perspective. Every health story she reported on felt more personal. She knew what it meant to receive unexpected news from a doctor. This newfound empathy made her reporting even more impactful. But behind the scenes, the struggle was real. There were days when exhaustion took over, but Norah pushed through. Her commitment to her work never wavered, but she also knew the importance of self-care. She made time for her checkups, even when her schedule felt impossible. But she often wondered, could she keep up this pace forever? Her viewers saw a confident, composed anchor every evening, but few knew the battles she faced off camera. As Norah continued to juggle her career and health, one question loomed. How long could she keep this delicate balance before something?
an independent, non-biased, fact-based source for news.
With her career still flourishing and new opportunities on the horizon, Norah O'Donnell's future looked promising. Yet, even as she moved forward, the shadow of her diagnosis lingered. What would the next chapter of her life bring? Her contract extension with CBS guaranteed that she would continue to be a familiar presence on television, but speculation grew about what lay ahead. Would she take on new roles? Would her advocacy for health awareness become even more powerful? Fans eagerly speculated, curious to see where her journey would lead. One thing was clear, Norah wasn't finished yet. Her story, marked by both challenges and triumphs, had inspired countless viewers. But as she pressed forward, one question remained. How would her journey influence the future of health advocacy and journalism? What do you think about Norah's experience? Have you ever had a similar wake-up call? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out our next video for more inspiring stories from your favorite personalities.